they did not take the cat with them, and they're going to be coming back for Cat. So Cat was just howling outside of my door. And Cat is probably going to continue to howl. We only have 2 more upgrades left.
Woo! That must mean we're towards the end of the game.
Yes, we have triple Batarang, which we just picked up.
Oh, snap.
And then the last one is an upgrade for the explosive gel that lets it blow up automatically when enemies get near it. Which is situationally useful, but I've never really used it.
Okay. So does that mean have you kept up with the riddles?
For the most part. So this recording is actually going to end. Excuse me. I think I mentioned it in one of the early episodes, but this recording is going to end with the exact same amount of riddles found as my other hard mode game had, which is 197 out of 240 of them.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to show off all of them, specifically because there's no real payoff for it.
Okay.
It's just for unlockables and whatnot, and like you unlock the challenge maps as you get the Riddler trophies and progress through the game, and then you get like character trophies and concept art and stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I get, the majority of them, but I'm not gonna show off all of them.
And what about Riddler teeth or Joker teeth?
I think I destroyed all of them. I might have missed like 1 or 2 in one of the areas. Okay. And then there are a few locations that you can backtrack through that get Joker teeth in them, like the second or third time after you've been through them, which you have to go back through after, late in the game, obviously.
Okay.
But I don't remember where all of the Joker teeth are actually, because that was one of the things that actually highly confused me when I was first playing the game, because they don't show up on your map or anything. So, so I would look at the challenge list and see the challenge for, destroy 10, 15, or 20 Joker teeth or whatever for each area. And I would always need like 1 more pair of Joker teeth that I just did not know where they were.
Okay.
And I think I ended up needing to look them up just to find the locations, because it was like, I'm literally running back and forth all across these areas, and I cannot find this last pair of teeth.
Which is normally par for the course for collectibles.
That was another Scarecrow
riddle.
Cough,
Assassin's Creed 2. Cough, cough, feathers, cough, cough.
Yeah. But, I mentioned this to you, I think off recording, maybe on, either way, I do show off all of the Riddler challenges in Arkham City. Spoiler alert. Massive spoiler alert, because Arkham City, there's actually a reason to do it. So.
Yeah. You told me.
Yeah. So that.
As remembered.
Well, that's something for the 3 other people who will listen to this to look forward to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have a reason to look forward to these videos.
Yeah, it's only going to be like another 2 months after this video goes live until they see the Arkham City video, so they're not going to remember anything that I said, but, you know, little things.
As Poison Ivy is talking to us.
Yes, now we are on our way to take care of Poison Ivy.
Powerful force on the planet.
Because yeah, she's kind of out of control. And
well, I mean, you kind of fucked off and left her to her own devices.
Yeah, we're Batman, so we speaking of Joker teeth, we can't leave that that mess around unsolved. We have to go finish her off.
Well, of course. I mean, you just kind of left her to, like, whatever.
Wilt.
Well, I don't know if wilt is the right word.
Flourish in this
Flourish,
case.
yes. Since you're like, should I arrest her? Nah.
I mean, Batman did specifically say that if, you know, she started acting out, he'd be back for her, so here we go.
But I kind of feel like that was like a
Oh, there's
unnecessary
snipers.
foreshadow.
I forgot
'Cause it was
about
like-
the snipers.
Because I feel like once you run into like a major character,
Yeah.
you almost have to run into them again at some point.
It was kind of very obviously implied that we would be having a fight with Poison Ivy. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was so obvious. I mean, it might as well just send a letter to you in like calligraphy.
If you want to save Arkham Island, come to the Biodome. Botanical Gardens, sorry, rather.
Yeah, Botanical Gardens. Fuck's sake, man. Get your shit together.
I don't know where... No, I don't know where Biodome came from. I have not... Actually, I have seen Biodome, but I haven't seen it in years.
Well, of course not. I mean, it's a great film, but, you know.
Man, Pauly Shore's career is weird.
Yes. That is one way to describe his... I think he just runs a comedy club now. I honestly don't even know what he's doing anymore.
Yeah. Well, alright, so my first exposure to Pauly Shore, and my only exposure to Pauly Shore for the longest time, was in the Goofy movie.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
So you're here.
Well, yeah, and, like, that's the whole thing. Like, I enjoyed his character in a Goofy movie, because, you know, he had stupid lines like the Leaning Tower of Cheesa, and,
yes.
like, how can you hate something like that? But then I think the first, like, Pauly Shore quote unquote movie that I saw was In the Army Now.
Oh, that was a shit movie.
I liked it because
I didn't care for it.
Well, I saw it when I was like 12 or 13, something like that.
That's fair.
Yeah, I thought it was, like.
And as if we've established, I am older than you, so therefore I am old.
Well, I certainly wouldn't say like it's a good film or anything, but
No,
I
it's not.
I enjoyed it greatly. And I've like, aside from that, I've never really watched many actual Pauly Shore stuff. But the things I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, he's just... I mean, to be fair...
Do you think you can
She's
handle
taunting
me?
us.
Whatever, Poison Ivy. Jesus Christ.
At least she opens the way for us.
With her tentacles, I mean, there's nothing Freudian there. I mean... I don't know.
Oh.
Pauly Shore, good job. Pauly Shore is a weird I mean, his early stuff was pretty good.
And
But,
then
like,
he decided to take the same kind of dive off the deep end that a lot of comedians from
well,
that
that
sort
and
of
the
era.
fact that he just that he just kind of fell into like this whole I'm gonna play this
Oh.
stupid surfer dude.
I don't know what we got stuck on there.
Whatever.
I've
Plants.
got myself a little security.
Yeah, it's like the Adam Sandler
They'll
syndrome,
just die
right?
if anything happens to me.
Well, I mean, he burnt out in the 90s. Polly Shore, where he did nothing but like stupid surfer dude stuff,
Yeah.
which was fine in Biodome and like the few other films that he was in where he had, nothing significant. But I mean,
You can't really
anything after that, it's
you
like
can't sustain
okay,
a career off of that.
yeah.
Really. So now here we have the second boss fight of the game.
Oh, really? Towards the end of the game,
Yeah. It is
it's really fucking sad.
it's the only semi-decent boss fight, and it goes on for way too long.
So what you're telling me is that the boss fights are shit in this game.
I believe I may have mentioned that in the past. Yes. No,
Although I will say, Poison Ivy's character model isn't too bad.
this boss fight is actually decent. The only problem is that it lasts for way longer than it should, given what the fight itself actually is comprised of. Because she plunges the vines into the ground and makes little thorn vines pop up, and they will grab you if you're standing on the ground where they come up.
Right.
So you have to run around to avoid them. And then she rears up to shoot balls at you, and she opens up the protective casing on her plant because this is a boss fight in a video game.
Right.
So you can throw a batarang at her to deal a little bit of damage.
Can I just say I really hate it when boss fights are like this, where there's like a period where you can't attack them.
Incredibly contrived reasons for why you
Yes.
can deal damage. Yeah.
Yes, and then like suddenly all of like you can like attack them for no reason.
Yeah.
They like kind of sort of give you an opportunity for them, or when you're gonna attack them, they kind of like attack back, but it's no big deal
Yeah.
or like no real consequence.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it just pisses me off to some extent when they do that.
Yeah. And
It's like, come on, it feels so gimmicky and like boss fighty that it's just stupid.
And of course, the problem with this is that like you can get 3 batarangs in with each rotation, and the batarangs just don't deal enough damage. So you have to go
Right.
you have to go through like the rotation 4 times, and then we'll see she crashes down to the ground, and we can hit her protective shell like straight up and personal.
Right.
And then we have to do it
I mean-
again.
I mean, let me just point this out by saying, as much as I love God of War, and
Well, God
just
of War,
because
this ain't.
well, I will just preference this by saying I love like the game mechanics of the game, story aside, because there practically isn't one. It does the same thing,
Yeah.
and that's
yeah.
like my
Yeah.
massive complaint, where it's like, this is your time to attack them, and this is your
They-
time to avoid them, and this is your time to just fuck off and do whatever you want.
the reason that
And-
God of War can kind of get away with it at least better than this game can is because the boss fights are far more visually interesting. Because they have like very long, involved cinematic sequences that play throughout the boss fight as well. Whereas
See, that part was interesting. The one thing that happened right now, where you have to spray
Yeah.
the
you spray her protective
was in-
shell to crack it, and now we get little mooks that come up as well.
God, I just hate that when bosses do. I just hate it, honestly.
It's very video gamey.
It's stupid.
Now,
It's what it is. It's not video gamey. It's just dumb.
well, no, it is. It's totally video gamey because boss fights.
Well, it's
Boss
dumb.
fights summon henchmen. So, but a little cool touch is that these cop guys get caught up in her vines as well.
I guess, but it's just stupid. I honestly hate it when boss fights do this kind of shit. Where they just summon mooks to do whatever and just distract you and like, hey, by the way, I'm going to be doing the same attack I've been doing for you, but you might want to pay attention because I'm going to be doing some shit. And it's like, no, how about no?
Yeah, it's an artificial way of making the fight mechanically
Harder than it really
well,
is.
yeah, it's an artificial way of making it mechanically more difficult without changing the actual mechanics of the boss itself.
Right. And it's lazy.
Well, yeah.
To me, it's lazy.
It is. It's like that's one of the reasons why I always bring up World of Warcraft like raids in reference to boss fights because like there are a significant number of boss fights in World of Warcraft that do have bosses who either start with mooks or summon mooks throughout the fight, but it plays a specific part of the encounter. Like there is always a reason for it, and the boss fights are always so varied throughout the entire like if this was a World of Warcraft boss fight right now, the vines that she's stabbing into the ground would start lashing out at Batman as well. And and like she would try to do like body slams with the main body of the vine that she like the plant that she is centered in. Like that's the kind of thing that like a World of Warcraft style boss fight would do to change up the mechanics of the fight in addition to stuff like having mooks or whatever. And that's why that's the reason that I've raided in World of Warcraft for so long, is because they consistently manage to keep these boss fights with kind of basic, simple mechanics interesting and different, even though they basically just use different combinations of mechanics that they had already used hundreds of times before.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not just I love, like, God of War in, like, the series in terms of, like, mechanics and, like, how great it feels to, like, do certain things, and, like, the boss battles are amazing. Just, like, the scope and scale, and you feel like you're actually accomplishing something. There are a few boss battles in each of the games where it's shit like this.
Well, yeah.
Where you have to, like, keep an eye on the boss, keep an eye on the mooks, and keep an eye on, like, random shit that could happen, and it's annoying. And I just feel like the game is, like, tricking you, or, like,
it's
testing your ability to, like, multitask.
It's trying to appear more difficult than it is.
Yeah,
what it is.
and I just, I don't know, I always hate it when, you know, boss battles do mook things like this. I don't care what game it is, I just think it's stupid and contrived and totally unoriginal.
Fortunately.
You didn't even finish doing the bad thing, Batman. How fucking lazy are you?
Yeah, he kind of just half-assed that one. But, that's... That... Yeah, well, she's really having a bad time of it, but...
She sounds like she's orgasming.
Yeah, not really the...
Oh, my plant! Oh! I'm in the bud! Oh!
Well, time to get out of here, Batman. Batman doesn't care that he just got Poison Ivy off, so...
No. Oh, no, of course not. Well, he was hitting that bud.
With many, many batarangs. And, now there are fireworks. And Joker is telling us that there's a party.
Well, you know, ain't no party like a Joker party.
Yeah. Joker always knows how to throw the best parties for Batman.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's always a grand old time.
Yeah. And we have our final upgrade.
Woohoo!
So we're gonna go.
That must mean we're towards the end of the game.
Yeah, we're gonna get the auto proximity detonator, and then next time we're gonna go see what kind of party Joker has in store for us.
Will there be a piñata?
Batman is the pinata.
Bring a stick.